It's always easy to take things for granted until you don't have them. For a lot of people in Aroostook County, that has happened with their favorite butter.
That's right. People have counted on butter from Houlton Farms Dairy for their breakfast toast, their supper time corn, and other things in between. But this summer, supplies of that particular butter got so tight that stores had to limit sales.
207's Don Kerrigan went to Houlton to find out what makes the butter so good and how the summer shortage tells a bigger story.
At Andy's IGA in Houlton, customers ask, "Got butter?"
It's all handmade, number one. It's made right here in Houlton. They use nothing but the finest ingredients.
Put the label right.
That's butter from Houlton Farms Dairy. In summer in Houlton, the butter is so popular it gets rationed. Andy's was sold out.
You know, they just want to make sure everybody gets some.
And at a store across town, we got there just as the last pound of butter headed for the door.
Nope, she's not quite ready, but she's close.
At this small family-owned dairy, making butter is an art.
See that? I'm looking for that right there.
The window there.
Yep, that's what I'm looking for.
And the artist is Eric Lincoln. His creations are eagerly gobbled up by customers from near and far. Eric has been making the butter here for 40 years.
It sounds like it might be easy, but you gotta have an eye for it.
That might describe this whole business: processing and bottling milk, making ice cream and butter and other products, all under Eric's watchful eye. He began working at the dairy in high school before his mother and father bought the business in 1981. The whole family has been here ever since. Eric and his brother Jim oversee everything in the plant. At least one of them is here every day, 7 days a week.
This will be chocolate milk, yeah.
Using equipment that might be older than he is, like this vacuum tank.
It's old technology. That's technology they had back in the 50s. I would never give it up.
Eric says it improves the flavor of the milk and, more important, the cream.
This is cream that we're going to make butter with.
Oh, so that's the gold.
That's the gold, yeah. Yeah. When I first came here, there was a guy that told us, he worked here, and he said this was a liquid gold.
Can I get a small vanilla in a dish?
That liquid gold makes the ice cream that's sold in Houlton Farms Dairy bars around Aroostook County. People love it, and Eric says ice cream sales have become crucial to turning a profit. Which brings us back to butter.
Well, it's done the old-fashioned way. We make it the old-fashioned way. It's separated cold, which everybody nowadays separates warm.
The big butter churn may be a bit old-fashioned too. It was turning here long before Eric arrived. The salted butter, it turns out, is famous in the county and beyond.
They drive for hours. They'll tell us how many hours. 3 hours, 5 hours. Somebody came from New Hampshire.
People like Diane, who came right to the dairy to buy her butter. She drove up from East Millinocket, a 120-mile round trip. What makes it so good?
I don't know. It's the saltiness, the creaminess. It's just heaven.
Down at Andy's, we're told people do strange things to buy extra butter.
We've heard all the stories that come all the way from Alabama to get it, you know. So, or they got a sick grandmother, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But,
Do you believe it?
no.
Everybody has a story.
Eric hears them too.
We've even had one customer in a small town. She went in and bought a pound, went out, changed her hair, put her hair up, went back in. The third time she had changed her clothes, and the clerk said, get onto this, why didn't you just ask? There's been all kinds of stories we've heard. Nothing surprises me anymore.
He tries to make about 1,200 pounds of butter every week, but says it's getting harder because fewer people nowadays are buying milk.
Some people come in and they just want to know why. They think that we need more cows. That's their answer. You got to have more cows.
Milk consumption is down, he says, so there is less cream. And in summer especially, butter making competes with ice cream. They do sometimes buy cream from other dairies, but Eric says he can taste the difference.
People who've written to us and said, you know, they'll substitute with other brands until they get ours, and they know there's a difference.
He says the cream supply problem has become worse the last few years, and they need those butter and ice cream sales to stay in business.
Yeah, these are the most challenging times we've ever faced.
The dairy could buy more cream and modernize the process to make butter faster so there would be more to sell. But that kind of change doesn't seem likely.
I mean, why reinvent the wheel? It's working. You know, people are beating your door down for it, you know.
Small hot fudge sundae?
When ice cream season ends, there will be more cream for making butter. That means the summer rationing will end too. More butter, more happy customers. Eric says he will keep churning it out. And if customers want to help, he says, be patient and buy more milk.
Eric Lincoln says some of the praise for the butter should also go to the Lily Farm in Sherman, which produces all of the milk. He also says making butter is the most time-consuming thing they do. Each batch of 450 to 500 pounds takes parts of 2 days to make and package for market.
And to think people travel 120 miles round trip to get their hands on this butter.
Extraordinary.
The butter. Sorry, that's how we should say it. All right.